This is the Mumbai level in Hitman. It's a massive sprawling city within a game, home to thousands of people, hundreds of guards, and three of the most heavily protected targets in the entire series, and I'm going to beat it using only this: a hammer. This one ridiculous tool changes everything. A simple throwable hammer becomes the only key to pulling off silent takedowns and elaborate accidents against impossible odds. This is a story of how I beat Hitman's most crowded level with just this hammer. So let's lay down the rules for this nightmare run because apparently I hate myself. Rule number 1: no guns at all. Pistols, shotguns, sniper rifles, Agent 47's entire arsenal is completely off the table. Which brings us to rule number 2, our final rule. My only starting item is a single solitary hammer. If I need another hammer, I have to find one in the level. Cans, wrenches, coconuts, all off limits. I can pick them up to relocate them, but I cannot use them as my main focus is the hammer. Now, what makes this so ridiculously hard in Mumbai, you may ask? Well, for starters, the level is one of the most complex sandboxes in the entire trilogy. There's a dizzying number of interconnected passages, and you are never ever truly alone. There's a civilian or a guard waiting literally around every single corner. Our targets are a triple threat of untouchables. First, Dawood Rangan, a sleazy movie producer hiding out in his ivory tower, completely surrounded by private security. Second, Vanya Shah, the self-proclaimed queen of the slums, who never leaves her central fortress and is completely surrounded by her enforcers. And finally, the Maelstrom, a mysterious ghost of a pirate king who roams the street and whose identity is completely unknown. Taking out one of them with just a hammer would be tough. Taking out all three seems mathematically impossible. My first target just had to be Dawood Rangan. He's isolated in his massive construction site tower, which felt like the most manageable place to start. Fewer civilians, more predictable guard patrols, simple. So I started out in the normal starting location and headed into one of the choles on the right and went straight to the very top floor, where we found the Kashmirian scoping out his target. I went towards the sniper rifle and used the focus scope prompt and then left the chole and headed towards Rangan Tower, where I went around the outside to this pipeline where we can sneak into the back area. There are plenty of guards to take us out, but with patience and a clever plan, we can distract this guard here with our trusty hammer and boom, we are now a guard. But we need to hide the body. Luckily, there's a container nearby, so we dumped him in there. Now to get into the tower without being noticed by the enforcers, so we take our time and head towards the security office. We then go to the right where there is a canteen and we head towards the under the stairs part where we will find this tube of paint. We take it and head straight up the stairs and towards the room where a painter is working on Rangan's portrait. Instead of walking through the door, however, our arachnid senses kick in and we hop out onto the side of the building. We wait for the guys in the room to not be looking, hop inside, we then place a tube of paint here and out the window again. We can now relax as Rangan is basically dead. We now head back towards the security office and notice that a guard leaves for a smoke break, and now we wait for him to open the door and attack him. Boom, this guard is down, but we need to stop because it's hammer time. That's right, we launched our hammer at the other guard to avoid being noticed and then we clear our security footage. Now we can get around the entire map without a worry. So we head over to the most frustrating and downright hostile area. We head into this crow's hideout, take out these bozos here, head down these stairs and grab this photo of the maelstrom. Now we can put a face to the target and it's time for the takedown. So I head towards the barbershop through these alleys and there's this one guy that won't leave. So we head into this toilet here, throw a hammer onto the floor, bring him inside, knock him out cold, leave his body alone as he is perfectly hidden and just walk out and make sure the door is shut. Throw the hammer against the wall and take this guard's attention away from the stairs. And now that we have his attention, we can run back through the alley, through this shop here and up the stairs, all without being caught. We now see the barber and his wife talking and we just wait for her to leave the room and we enter the building, take him out with a hammer, put him in the container, take his disguise and then we throw our trusty hammer at the wife's head because we believe in equal rights. We then dump her body with her husband, take this key off this table, head downstairs and it's now time to open up shop. We then wait for the maelstrom to appear for a shave and invite him in. Little does he know, he just signed his death warrant. He sits in the chair, but no shave comes. We throw a hammer in the back room, he comes to check it out, and blam, we hit him over the head with our trusty hammer. Then we politely snap his neck and hide his body. On to Vanya Shah. Heading out the shop, we see an opportunity to get a piece of cloth for free since we can't use coins. So we throw a hammer against this wall, we pick it back up and sneak our way to the counter and snatch this piece of cerulean cloth when no one is looking. I now head straight into the tailor's shop, up the stairs and shut off the power. We let the tailor come turn the power back on, and now we take the tailor out with Dumpty. That's right, we named our hammer Dumpty. Why is that? Well, who knows? It sounds cool. Let's carry on. We then hide the tailor's body and take his disguise. We then head towards the train station, get frisked and head inside, avoiding all the enforcers. We then have a face-to-face meeting with Vanya. She prattles on about some stuff and then asks us about the cloth. She then invites us to take her measurements inside her private train car, where we knock her the F out with Dumpty. And then we launch Dumpty at Humpty over here. That's why we named it Dumpty. It all makes sense now. Then we calmly hide the body of this other woman, then snap Vanya's neck like a glow stick, and we are done. We just need to leave. So let's not get caught with our wang in the wind. We avoid the centres to avoid the enforcers, and along the outsides and to our exit, this beautiful boat, and this is how we took out 3 targets with just a damn hammer. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave a like. Even if you didn't, please leave a like anyway and let me know in the comments what you didn't like. Always consider subscribing and tune in for next week's video here at 5 PM for members and 6 PM for public. Thank you and goodbye.